On the air?
Yes, we are.
All right, so we are live from the Kensington Library. Welcome to the Wednesday, November 29th, 2023 meeting of the Kensington Municipal Advisory Council. Before we get started, if you're tuned in or present to hear anything about or say anything about 74 Eureka Avenue, which was the item number 8 on the agenda, that's been removed at the request of the applicant and will not be considered until at least the next meeting on January the 3rd, pending the receipt of additional updated plans. So roll call. My name is Lloyd Powell. I am the chair of the KMAD. To my left is Ruel Cook. To her left, Chris Bryden. And to my right is Ben Barrett. Everyone who serves on the board is a current Kensington homeowner. If you are interested in possibly serving on the board, contact our county coordinator who works with John Joy's office. That's Robert Rogers, who's here in the room. I saw where Supervisor Joy put up, actually, I got an email notification that they're looking for a second alternate for the KMAC board. So serve your community on a volunteer basis. Is there any comments from any citizens online or in the room that is not related to a specific agenda item? Now
Somewhere else.
to shine.
Pardon, I need you to go somewhere else for a minute. Okay, go play with Cooper.
Doris, please mute yourself. Thank you.
Anybody, citizens comments? Yeah, these videos are stored on Supervisor Joy's YouTube page for posterity, so now's your chance. Go in the record. Hearing none, let's move on. I've circulated draft meeting notes on November the 13th to everybody, including I sent them to you, Robert. I assume that they were posted publicly. Just recap of what we did in October. Does anybody have any questions or comments about the draft meeting notes? Can I get a motion to approve the meeting notes from some?
We'll make a motion to approve the meeting notes from October 25th, 2023.
Second.
Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
All right. Again, the meeting notes are publicly available and posted on Supervisor Joy's website for anyone to look at. Now we're going to welcome county planning officials. That's very generic. Who are going to talk to us for a while about the envisioned Contra Costa County 2040 General Plan Climate Action. Take it away.
Great. Good evening, members of the MAC, staff, and community. I'm Maureen Toms. I'm the Deputy Director of the Department of Conservation and Development in the Policy Planning Division. And for the last 4 years, we've been undertaking a redo of our general plan, the countywide general plan that applies for all unincorporated communities within the county. We held a number of community meetings in every community, including several here in Kensington. So what I want to bring forward with you is that as we've been working on our general plan and the climate action plan update, we just sent this out for public review in October, and we will be taking public comments through January 31st. I have distributed a guide for taking a look at the general plan. The general plan has multiple chapters that include stronger communities, land use, transportation, conservation, open space and working lands, public facilities and services, health and safety, and growth management. So throughout the general plan, we also wanted to weave in 4 themes throughout the general plan, and those include environmental justice, community health, and economic development and sustainability. So those issues are woven throughout. You'll find some general plans throughout the state that might have a separate element or chapter on those topics. But we really thought that those four themes needed to be addressed in every one of the elements. So this will give you kind of an update or a review of what the general plan contains, how to review it, and ways that you can comment on the general plan. I also want to call to your attention the community profile that was developed for Kensington. This is where we heard from residents here in Kensington about specific issues that are custom to this area. Most of the concerns that we heard about were safety, whether it's wildfire risk and earthquake risk. Given the narrow roads and the hilly roads, there was concern there. The proximity to the high fire severity zone, and how close you are to the Hayward Fault. So what our ask tonight is that you take a look at this information. You can review the entire general plan by going to envisioncontracosta2040.org and taking a look at the entire general plan and also the climate action plan and comment on it. If you think that we missed the mark on putting the profile together, which we worked with the community to come up with a profile. If you think that there's policies that should be included that are not included in the larger document that are specific to Kensington, let us know that as well, because this is a draft. It's not going to be adopted until it goes through an expanded community planning process. So, and then I wanted to also introduce Nicole Shimuzo. I messed that up, sorry. She is in our sustainability group, and she's going to talk about the climate action plan that's also addressed in this book.
Yeah, so if you look at the last 2 pages of the booklet that you have in front of you, it goes over the entirety of the climate action plan. So the climate action plan update is actually an update to our 2015 climate action plan. It's a refresh, it's a rebrand from the previous one, and it's also tied very closely to the general plan to make sure that it's strong and that we are really addressing climate action in the most effective way possible. So tied to things like land use and things like that. So in there's several different kinds of themes and strategies that go over things like energy efficiency, water conservation, carbon sequestration, climate resilience, wildfire safety, planting more trees, having more bike paths that are safe for you to use, and all of those kinds of things. And so it's a 200-page document. It's really robust. We're really, really proud of the work that we've done there. And so it's available for everybody to go ahead and comment on it on the same website, Envision Contra-Costa 2040, where you can go ahead and either use our online portal to type in the comments or email them to us. We're happy to take them any way you'd like to provide them. And I also have some additional information from our partners over at the Office of Emergency Services. They're also updating their plan, their local hazard mitigation plan, which you all might be interested in, as it relates to like wildfire and earthquakes and all the things that Maureen mentioned. So I'm going to force you to take them, but they're right here if you would like them. And then also related to energy efficiency, we also run for Contra Costa County, the Bay Area Regional Energy Network suite of energy efficiency and electrification rebate program. So you're also welcome to take that if you're looking to update your house. So,
I wanted to also point out that the Office of Emergency Services is holding a public meeting next Tuesday in San Pablo to get community input on their local hazard mitigation plan. So it's a public meeting, starting at 6:30, and it's at the, at San Pablo Community Center. There's also one in Martinez on Monday night, if that's easier. And then, you know, of course, they have online ability to take comments too. So we're available for any questions, but definitely, you know, our ask is for you to take a look at documents. If you have questions or comments, please reach out.
If, and we're still in the questions and comments phase, there's no legislation that's been drafted or anything.
No, we have a draft environmental impact report that's out for public review and the draft general plan. So if you want to comment on the draft EIR, really the issue is, have we addressed the environmental impacts to the plan? Or if you have comments on the plan, like you suggest policies, or you think that we should add some more robust actions on the general plan and also the climate action plan, we're taking those through the end of January.
And that's through the portal, all this stuff is accessible that way.
There's also an online open house webinar next Monday.
On December 4th from 5:30 to 6:30 p.m. and you can find the Zoom webinar link on the website as well.
This might be overkill, but is there any conversation about mudslides, landslides with all the rain?
There is a health and safety element, and they do have mapping on geologic issues throughout the county. And you know, they'll have policies to address hazardous areas for when there's building and that sort of thing. And I don't think I'll give you one of these.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, but we're available for questions now, or we'd love to have your comments through the website. And I have more of these if anybody didn't get one. You got them.
Just noticing that pedestrian infrastructure is part of this. On the last page here,
Yes,
and I mostly just wanted to say, if you could convey to whoever is responsible for doing that project planning, the curb ramp project that just wrapped up near Kensington Hilltop has been a game changer. The benefits
I
are
will
awesome.
pass that along.
It was executed really efficiently. And yeah, more of that, please, if that's part of
Extremely
this.
helpful.
Well, so, yeah, I might throw out the school system, but what are you talking about?
Maybe
So-
cuts for basically accessibility at every corner going up Westminster.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, there used to be no ramps from the street to the sidewalks on Westminster or Kenyon, and now they have them at every corner.
That's awesome.
I will be sure to pass that on to our Public Works Department at our next meeting.
Yeah, please do.
You mentioned financial assistance programs to help residents maintain and upgrade their homes and seismic safety improvements.
Mhm.
Can you talk a little bit about that?
That is a goal. And we're looking at ways in which we can do that. Currently, we have programs for energy efficiency to upgrade your homes for energy resilience, to add insulation, upgrade furnaces, and a lot of whether it's a loan or a grant, we have those programs right now. They're weatherization programs. Some of the assistance is based on income level. And but as far as the seismic programs and seismic upgrades, we don't have a program on that now, but I believe that there is an action proposed that we should have that.
Thank you.
I just add that there are energy improvement programs with rebates with the Air Quality Management District as well as a regional body. And then at the county level with our health department, we also have programs for low income seniors and low income residents to make sure they have safe spaces inside, energy efficient and so forth. So there's a variety of programs, a big basket out there. I'd encourage you to look around, do some research. And then also furthermore, on just this whole program, I would encourage everyone, as Maureen already has, to go to the website, dive in, really geek out. There's a lot of amazing information here, a lot of opportunities for feedback. And the bottom line picture is, speaking for Supervisor Joya, super proud of what all county departments are accomplishing with this. This is some of the most robust, progressive, forward-thinking general plan occurring anywhere in the country. And you can see it on the second to last page when it comes to energy efficiency, emissions, and so forth. These are targets that are really, really commendable, really good done. And so it's great. It's great to be a Contra Costa.
Yeah, and there's also notes to the meetings we held here in 2019. We held a number of meetings pre-COVID, and those comments and those notes from those meetings are there. So if you missed those meetings, they're right there, and you can, make sure that we got it right in here. And if there's anything we missed, please let us know.
Thank you.
Great, thank you very much. So educated public participation is a foundational pillar of self-governance. Get involved and don't complain if you don't like the result. If you just sit on the sideline. The lecture for today. So we're all finished. Anybody else have questions or comments? All righty then. So moving on, now we're going to talk about specific projects that are on the agenda. When you're presenting, just go ahead with the executive summary. If we don't understand, we will go ahead and ask questions. We're, like I said at the top of the meeting, we are all Kensington homeowners, and so we know what it's like to be for or against a particular project, and just keep it concise. So anyway, the first one is 1624 Oakview Avenue. This is a request for a zoning variance. Looking for a 0-foot side yard setback where 3 feet is required for the construction of a replacement 403 square foot detached garage on a substandard residential lot. I'm sorry that your lot is substandard.
It's a very nice class.
So welcome. If you can just let us know who you are and take it away.
Sure, my name is Andrew Ickes. This is my wife Tracy. Our daughter's running around in the background. You may make her appearance or not. To give you a quick executive summary on this, I have a specific set of slides that we can walk through really quickly to kind of walk through the aspects of the domains and why it's why we're supposed to be granted. If that makes sense.
Okay. So before you start, is the replacement going to be on the same footprint as the existing?
So the existing garage is just over 20 feet wide by 18 feet deep, and the replacement is 20 feet wide by 20 feet deep. So the same width, it's just 2 feet deeper to be more in line with the conventions of current small garages as opposed to those built in the 1920s.
It's also moving forward 6 inches or so in order to avoid needing variance on the back lot line.
Oh, so forward as towards the front of the property on Oakview.
Correct, by 100 inches, yes.
Sorry to interrupt. We have visual.
That's the existing? This is the existing garage. So it's this at 18 feet deep, 20 feet wide, sitting right on the lot line, on the back corner of the lot. So again, existing structure from a different angle. Was when we bought the house, the garage has clearly been there since the house was built. It shows up on the 1929 fire insurance maps. The house was built in 1926. So it's in that condition as we go through to make it so it's a little nicer so that we can use it better. Doing things like working on foundations, the cost of which came up to the point where you said really replacing it with a new structure that gives us all of the intact and modern construction would be helpful as a way of rather than going through all the effort to just to work with the structure that we have. Project goal, I know everyone has a great reason for why they want to do it. I don't want to dwell on that, but really just to highlight, we're not building this to be an ADU. What we really want is the garage space as a workshop for some of the hobbies that we enjoy.
To look at flying cars.
Yeah, where's that flying car? Look at all this hobbies.
Give us time.
So then just to walk you through a little bit of the differences between where we are and what we're proposing. So it's again, as Tracy mentioned, moving it forward so that the rear setback aligned with the current requirements while remaining right on the lot line. And then in terms of the garage, the image to the left is the existing structure as drawn, and the one to the right is the proposed structure. So what we're doing is maintaining very similar size, very similar style. What we've then done is gone to, as I said, a 20-foot structure in line with kind of common small garage designs of today, and then gone to the full 8-foot ceilings as opposed to the original, which were on the order of 7 feet 4, I believe.
So the two, I guess, height elevations are to scale with each other. I can't.
They should
see it.
Yeah. I mean, they're pulled off of the drawings that we submitted inside. I think they should be to scale. And part of it I would recognize is those are drawn based off of what the existing structure is. I've kind of highlighted, there's parts of the existing structure that will compromise. So I think it's relative, but it's in. And it's really the height increase is really just to make sure that we can get conventional height, ceiling heights, plus having a header of the garage door, which is also on the rear of these old garages that tends to collapse.
And your intent is to use it just as a garage as opposed to.
We actually want a garage.
As opposed to auxiliary dwelling.
We're not looking for.
So highlighting a little bit why we feel the lot shape allows for the setback that would be normal. So first of all, we're showing here is preservation of the yard. It says, you know, the substandard lot, it's a 40-foot wide lot, it's a 20-foot wide garage. You're starting to significantly eat into the space in the back. And then the second is this, as you go over to the other side, the access to the garage, since we intend to use it as such. Now you have to have some sort of S curve that goes behind the garage where much of the garage door is blocked by the front of the house. These are, again, to scale as best as I could, but also noting if you move the garage over, you also have to continue to move it forward to maintain that setback so that cramps you even further. And it's not shown on this, but immediately adjacent to the garage as it sits today is the driveway and parking pad for the neighbors. So in this case, you'd be creating a setback to protect the garage from a driveway. Also noting that in terms of aspects of the placement is in line with what we see in neighbors in houses. So all of these are up and down the street. These were all houses built in the 20s. And the fire map shows that all of these structures are on the lot lines and they were there at the time of they were being built. There's an exception of one that was built in the 30s, but again, I think it's consistent with that they were all built on the lot lines at the time.
30s were wild times, you know.
So then highlighting again, so this is the view again from the front, and what you see if you look to one side is our neighbors, you have a very level ADU conversion, but right on the lot line again, and across our neighboring yard, there's the next house over has a garage that's on the lot line. So it's very much the convention for this area. And the final piece is highlighting, we have talked to our neighbors. We have a number of them I see are online and are here tonight, but we've basically gone around the row and gotten thumbs up from everybody around. There's a couple houses that we weren't able to get to, but those are the owners of those are the houses are rented at the moment, so it's a little harder to track.
Sure.
So with that,
All right, thank you very much. Are there any questions or comments from members of the board? All right.
Presentation, thank you.
Sorry, sorry, my name is Doris. I am the designer of that project. And I'm sorry you can't see my face. It's a technical issue I'm having, but I am here. I did want to add one comment. We did modify the slope of the roof slightly and the front fenestration for the eave board to be more in keeping with the rest of the home. And that was in response to an initial question and request we had in terms of aesthetics. But other than that, I think Andrew has summed it up beautifully.
And I also want to add, I see Claire and Noah, and I know we have Bob and Denise here, they're neighbors who are here to address no problems. Oh.
Is there anybody here, throwing this out to the members of the community, is there anybody here who's opposed to this project? You have a right to be heard regardless of your views, but I'm saying let's hear the negatives first. I'll stipulate that the neighbors are in general support. We've received a lot of written correspondence. I talked, when I was distributing the notices, I talked to a couple of the neighbors myself, who would be on that diagram that shows. So is there anybody here who wants to oppose this project? Otherwise, or if you want to speak out in favor of it, please do. It is your right. I just don't know how necessary.
Andrew, do you have any pictures of existing garage? Really? Oh, you have one there? It's really a great improvement, not to just being a better garage, but to the neighborhood as well. You know, this existing garage has been old for a very, very, very long time. I'm the neighbor that lives next door. I have to.
Were you at 1620?
Yes.
Oh, okay. So you're the person or persons most directly affected by this proposal.
We're kissing cousins.
Okay, so you're right.
I used to throw baseballs
He grew up
against this garage when I was a little kid.
Are you?
That's a breakfast sometimes.
All right, I'm gonna go ahead and close it to public comment. I don't mean to cut anybody off, but I mean, come on, let's,
Easy.
Yeah.
we're gonna have we're here, but we're in closed session for discussion among the board. You know, I think the 1929 fire map shows that there's really no request for special treatment. And we're talking about essentially the envelope of an existing structure. The neighbors who are most directly affected are here and don't have a problem with it. So I don't understand what we would be accomplishing by standing in the way.
And it seems to meet the legal requirements, so.
Agreed. So let's have a motion from somebody.
Your turn, come on.
I'll make a motion. I'd like to make a motion to recommend for approval, 123010112 1624 Oakview Ave.
Second.
All right, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, thank you. We will recommend to the higher authorities that your project have received approval. As everyone should know, we do not approve or deny anything. We only make recommendations. Good luck and thank you for coming.
Thank you.
All right.
That was easy.
Maybe take it out and make a better deck.
We should refer, huh?
All right, so moving on, meeting agenda item number 6, 23-03034, 91 Arlington Avenue. This is a Kensington development plan and design review. There is no request for a zoning variance. The plan includes the addition of a bedroom and bathroom addition on the upper floor and extension of the dining room on the main floor, resulting in a total gross floor area of 2,861 square feet, which exceeds the 2,800 square foot public hearing threshold, along with the installation of new California frame roofs over existing roof decks at the rear of the residence, along with window and door renewal replacements along the exterior of the existing residence. Who's here to speak for 91? Welcome. Please take it away.
I'm Edward Buchanan, the architect, project architect. We found in order.
All right, good to see you both.
Thank you for this opportunity. This is a pretty small project. It's an upper floor addition, as you know, bedroom and bathroom that is continuing the details and proportions of the existing home built in the 40s or so. Some of the main concerns to be addressed or looked at are privacy, access to sunlight, and protection of views. And because this is an addition that is, well, first of all, in terms of privacy, this is an addition that its nearest effective neighbor to the south at 93, we have no new windows facing that property. They have an existing window that faces this project, but it extends well past the proposed addition, and so that won't have any impact in that respect. In terms of access to daylight, this is an addition that's on the upper floor, a majority on the upper floor at the south side of the house. So that because of solar orientation, won't be casting any shadows on any of the adjacent neighbors. There was a concern from the neighbor to the north about the California framed roofs, but they're actually a little bit lower than the existing parapet height that casts shadows now and doesn't even touch their property. So there won't be any impact by the California framed roofs. In addition, as part of the application that we've submitted, we're proposing removing one of the oak trees that's growing alongside the house and whose roots are compromising the foundation of the house right now. And so with removal of that tree, we're going to have all kinds of an abundance of sunlight than prior than what is there currently right now. So there's only going to be more sun for everybody there. But in addition to removing that tree, that's also going to be benefiting neighbors to the uphill in terms of protection of views. I mean, it's going to be opening up some views for the neighbors uphill. I did walk. This is an addition whose roof is just slightly below the existing ridge line.
Can you put that again?
Apologies. Thank you.
Sorry for interrupting.
No worries. Thank you.
The proposed ridge is slightly below the, but well below the height limit, but slightly below the existing ridge line. And I walked up along Windsor Avenue to neighbors so I could see between the homes and stuff. And it wasn't submitted originally, but I took a photo between homes that can help explain or just highlight that.
All right, so what are we doing?
This is in between 32 and 28 Windsor. This is the existing house this is our existing house. And the proposed ridge is down here. So views from up above, from the neighbors up above here and here aren't going to be, the only thing that's going to be blocked are trees along Arlington Avenue and homes in front. This is the bay well above all of that stuff.
I see.
So there shouldn't be any, well, I take that back. The one neighbor at 32, Kathy Foley, was just here before the meeting started, and she was very complimentary of the design and sensitivity. She said that she would be losing a view of the bay from her ground floor bedroom window, but she also said, I don't sit up in bed and stare out at the view. I really spend my time upstairs. So the majority of the homes along her house and that one, the one on the right there at 28 are the only ones that are really impacted by this addition in terms of view. And that view is the only part that's blocked is again of street trees and homes along Arlington Avenue. So basically, in conclusion, I just wanted to say that this is a fairly small addition in terms of bulk and height. It's well below the height limit. It follows the pattern of the 1.5 and 2-story homes along that side of Arlington, and is almost an identical solution to the neighbor to the right at 93, which has an almost identical form and mass, and this is just a repeat of that more or less.
So can you give me the architecture 101 explanation of what a California frame roof is?
Yeah, you bet. It's basically building, if you have an existing flat roof, you just literally put some rafters on top of that. And put some rafters on top of that and roof the top of that. It's not a tearing off an existing roof. It's building a new roof just on top of what's there currently.
It's just an aesthetic thing.
It's an aesthetic thing. Well, it serves a function. The way the whole project got started, it sheds water way better than the flat.
No, it's not.
The poor house is a mess right now with the rains, and it has been for the last couple of years. And so the whole project got started by trying to find a solution for what to do with these flat roofs that were just leaking like crazy. So part of it was to take advantage of the view over the top of the living room, put a primary suite, the bathroom there, take advantage of the view. And then for the rest of the parapet flat roofs, just put some of these California framed sloping roofs.
So the tree, it's not like a project all by itself. It's like, one of those gigantic ones. I'm slightly familiar with those properties there because I live right down the street, but,
Okay, yeah, there's two of them. There's two oak tree. The bigger one, like on the site plan, it kind of shows the bigger one with the bigger canopy is actually the one that's gonna remain. It's a little further uphill. This is one that's literally between these two homes, 93 and 91. And it's right against the house and it's really, the foundation is really.
foundation. All right, well, that's a separate process, and we don't have nothing to do with it. The county probably has a say on removing mature trees, but that's not something that we do at the present.
Yeah.
All right, does anybody have questions or comments of the presenter? No. Yeah, so let's have some community comments. Anybody here want to be heard on the 91 Arlington Ave?
We're gonna chat.
Oh.
Can you tell us how much higher the roof will be on the back north side? It is in front of our only south facing window.
Back north side.
Yeah, so it looks like the property,
yes.
the house itself sort of is pushed slightly to the north as opposed to any other cardinal direction. So let's see, yeah, here's the photo. Back, hard to visualize it. So it sounds like that the positioning is more towards the south side of the lot, right?
Yeah.
Yes, yeah, the bedroom bathroom is to the south side of the lot completely. I think what the person is asking about is on the north side, one of these California framed roofs. It looks to be maybe 2 feet higher in the middle, but it's a slope, again, from the walls that go up. Currently, the walls go up. And they have a little bit of a parapet, a curve around a flat, basically an almost flat, but gently sloping flat roof. And we're gonna take off that parapet and put some rafters that go on top of it. And so the net height, the additional height might be 2 feet or so higher.
The midpoint though, right?
Yeah, but it's at a point in the middle of the house, so sunlight won't be.
Yeah, understood.
Yeah.
Even at this time of year when
Even at this time, yeah.
sunlight is at its low angle.
Yeah.
Okay. To our commenter online.
Colleen, speak later.
Yeah, I was gonna say, do you feel like your concerns have been addressed, or do you have any additional questions?
No, you can hear Jenny.
Jenny, we can't hear you.
I think it's okay.
Thank you, Jenny.
Good.
Okay. I think it's okay. Thank you so much. All right, thank you for participating. Anybody else? Anybody? So let's go ahead and close the discussion. Talk amongst yourselves. Anybody have thoughts?
Looks like a thoughtful project. And again, I think the amount over the FAR is negligible.
Yeah, it's, you know, it's great. All right, then, have to carefully consider all possibilities internally. So I want to make a motion.
Sure, I'll go again. I'd like to make a motion to recommend for approval. 23-03034 for 91 Arlington Avenue.
I'll go ahead and second that. All those in favor?
Aye.
Look, I don't want anyone to think that we're treating these lightly. These projects are
Just
well.
passed. It just passed.
Oh, the application?
Yeah.
Colleen, please
Hang on a
mute
second.
yourself.
Does somebody want to talk about Arlington? If you've had trouble getting through to us, we want to hear from you.
Can't hear anything anyway.
Just passed. All right. So I was willing to recall it if anyone wanted to be heard first, but hearing none. We'll go ahead and consider the matter to be resolved at this level. If you're upset with the board's decision, you may appeal to the county planning department. There are procedures for that. All right, that leads us to.
Thank you.
Well, thanks for coming by. Good luck. Thanks for making our community better. And. All right, this brings us to the last project that we're going to consider tonight, that's the 140 St. Albans Road. Longtime board members will recall that St. Albans Road is a hotbed of development and controversy.
I'm gonna abstain.
Longtime followers of the channel will know.
No, I'm just kidding. We've had a lively project or two there.
Yes.
Neighbors couldn't see eye out. Is that a fair way of saying it?
Yes.
That's fair to say.
I think that's a good solution. Okay, so 140 St. Albans Road, that's project number 23-03037. This is a Kensington development plan and design review. Applicant seeks an approval of an addition to the first floor totaling 117 square feet and a 63 square foot expansion of the basement level, resulting in a total gross floor area of 3,415 square feet, which exceeds the 2,800 square foot public hearing the threshold. In addition, the project includes new roofing, new siding, and door and window changes. So, are you here to talk about 140 St. Albans? Please do.
We are.
Take a look.
Cool, thanks. I have a small blurb, might rip a little bit. So we actually moved into 115 St. Albans in 2014 before we had kids, and that was where we started our family. We were expecting our second kid. We learned that our neighbors were selling 140, and the opportunity to get some more space and stay on the same street, too good to pass up. So we moved 5 doors down in 2020. So after weathering the pandemic in that house with 2 kids, we identified a few small changes that I think will have outsized benefits to our enjoyment of the property. So first, bring the primary bathroom up to modern standards so that the toilet, vanity, and shower are all in the same space. And I'm bringing up on my phone right now a picture of our existing primary bath.
Or the room. You go through the runway.
Catalina Island. Speaking of flying cars, that is our existing primary bath. The previous owners did that for some reason.
Separating the toilet from.
Put the toilet in that closet.
It was a closet, and you put a toilet in it.
There's actually not a light in that room.
Oh.
So.
The window doesn't fully close. It's very cold and dark when you go to the bathroom in the middle of the night.
Yeah, it's a true water closet. They were European. I've heard that's a thing. So anyway, that's one of the things we're trying to fix. Second, we were adding a bedroom to the main floor, so we don't have to negotiate stairs at night if the kids need something. Right now, there's 2 bedrooms on the main floor and 1 bedroom down a flight of stairs. And it's a hardwood stairs, and it's like fairly treacherous to try and navigate at night. So one of the main goals of the remodel is to add a 2nd bedroom to the main floor. And you can see from the plans that the way we did that is we actually lengthened the main hallway in the upstairs very slightly on both ends, and then subdivide what is currently 1 very large bedroom and a bathroom into 2 more sort of normal on the small side bedrooms and a bathroom. And one of the ends of that extension is part of the addition that's described in the project. The other end of that extension is an interesting example of reclaiming existing space that is actually currently counted in the gross floor area of the house.
So you want to make it useful.
Exactly. So then I'll stop sharing this. Those are the 2 pictures.
Well, the other end is a covered space.
Yeah,
Counts as too.
yeah. There's a lot of covered decking in this property. But, okay, so that's, and then the third, we wanted to add a laundry room. Right now, our laundry is in the garage, sharing space with our car. So there's no real place to hold clothes or anything. So the downstairs addition is actually a laundry room. And one thing I would point out is that there's two components to the upstairs addition. One is kind of a push out of our main entryway. And once you push the main entryway out that 2 feet, that downstairs addition is actually fully interior. So the downstairs addition is underneath the footprint that's created by the move of the entryway foundation line. So anyway, back to the script. We plan to make as many of these changes as possible by excavating crawl space and claiming existing square footage that isn't finished. We're also, you can see from the plans, intentionally limiting the small additions to what I call concave sections of the house, where the existing structure narrows, either at the entryway where it kind of pulls back from the lot line, or in that back like southeast section where the garage has that weird acute angle.
So filling in.
We're filling in,
Okay.
yeah. And it's on that basis where I'd say we're not really changing the bulk of the house. And I think that's obvious from the vertical elevations too. It's, you actually have to really, really squint to see anything that changed at all. We've already solicited, we solicited feedback from our 6 immediate neighbors. I think we've heard back from 3 of them. All those responses were positive. I'm not sure if this Colleen is one of our neighbors. We certainly have a neighbor on Wellesley named Colleen. And we have not heard back from Colleen Eames. We've also communicated to our contractor our expectation that the construction does not interfere with the use of public path number 6, which adjoins our property and is extremely important to us.
That's the one that drops down to Arlington.
Connects to Arlington.
Yeah, I've been up and down a few times. I like it.
Down there, we're down all the time. It's
Oh, Emily Spooky Pumpkin Patch.
Well, anyway, that's all the comments I had. Appreciate your consideration. Happy to address any questions.
You think Colleen and you as well?
Yeah. No.
Okay.
All right, so thank you very much. Anybody on the board have questions or comments?
Oh, did you say here what the new siding will be made of? The old
We're
one?
actually going to side the whole place in stucco. Right now, the lower level is stucco and the upper level is like a vertical wood. It has to be changed because that wood siding is not 1 hour fire rated. So we're just going to side the whole place in stucco.
Are you gonna change the code?
Probably.
You know, I look at your guys' house for my house, it's fine, I was just teasing.
Oh, you're on standby.
Yeah.
All right, anybody else? All right, let's open this up to community comments, questions. Hello, anybody? You're on the air. So, all right, so hearing none, Colleen, last chance, you want to talk?
Should we unmute her? Just
We did.
no, she's oh, we can only ask to unmute.
We can only ask them, they have to unmute themselves.
Yeah.
Oh, is she just?
The power down, they so strong.
Okay, I think that's a reasonable length of time. Looks like
Appreciate that.
Right.
so we'll go ahead and close comments from the public and speak of executive session.
The only thing I'd add is that, again, it's using the existing space underneath is what we usually look for, and that's usually the challenge. I think why you're over the gross floor area is just because it already is. It sounds like you're only adding a couple hundred square feet, but because you open it up, then we have to relook at it all. And the house is already that scale and size. You're not changing the envelope materially. You're using space under the house, which doesn't really impact anything, which is again, something we've always kind of applauded. So,
I think this is a great example of smart planning and design. And speaking to the historical record, this is the sort of development that should be encouraged in Kensington, in my opinion. All right. So let's get her done. Anybody have a motion to make?
You're on the run, come on.
I'd like to make a motion to recommend for approval. 23-03037, 140 Alden Road.
Second.
All right, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, motion to recommend carries, and we will notify your planner, usually send email after, the meeting is concluded and you'll be off, for the next steps, and good luck.
Awesome, thank you.
All right. Thanks, everybody who attended, electronically and stuck it out to the end. Good job. All right, that puts us at the end of tonight's agenda.
Make a motion.
Well, before we,
Oh, you have something for us?
always do. Yes, I worked out. Well, that's the thing, that's, I have written down a few jokes and this would be January the 3rd, 2024 is our next meeting. We don't meet at the end of December to allow, board members and the general public to make travel plans. That's the way it's always been as long as I've served here. So January 3rd, 2024, I'll start getting the agenda together. We'll have 3 projects so far. Anything that comes in closer to the meeting than 2 weeks beforehand will get bumped to the next meeting so that we can prepare and distribute notices so that the neighbors will have an opportunity to attend the meeting and be heard after having received reasonable notice. I'm also trying to get us into the community center for our future meetings. Apparently doing nothing has no effect.
I think the challenge in there though is the way public projects, the way it was built was pre-COVID and doesn't support the use of Zoom. So the way that the projector is set up is as if we were having a public meeting, we're projecting on that. So if we were to turn around so the public could see what we were presenting, we'd have our back to the audience or vice versa. So I don't know if they've been able to figure that one out, but
Well, I'm just glad that they have internet access.
Yeah.
I have numbers of people who are in charge that have encouraged me to reach out, but I haven't dug that deep.
I went in and met with them. Yeah, I went through it. I was trying to sat in there and he went. It totally worked in 2018 because all of our meetings were in person.
Right.
And the audience would have sat to us and we would have presented there and we would face the audience. But again, we functionally try and make that work, or we'd all have to have our own little laptop and sit there and then we could all talk. So you either can see the audience or you can see the screen, but you can't see both the same time. So it's just been 2018 to them.
Yeah, it sounds like you've put more time.
I did
into
try, I did. I
it.
worked with it for a while. We tried, and it was actually the systems. Unfortunately, this is super simple. It's exceedingly cumbersome. You have to go in the back and flip switches and turn on a server and kick a battery on. I mean, it was kind of like, that's a lot of work.
Okay.
To get the old system fired up. So I don't know. We should try, if you want, I'm glad to go on Saturday with you and we could try and figure it out or if there's another way to do something in there. But we would probably end up using something like this in
Are we not able to use this space?
We are, and frankly, I don't have a problem with it, and, 3 projects on an agenda is a heavy meeting for us, and there's no reason that we have not exceeded our need as far as accommodating members of the public and the board and so on, so I'm not gonna hard charge and try to make it happen. I'm open to exploring, and I appreciate that, because I didn't really have put any time into it up till now, because
the only time we needed is when it was our favorite cell tower, because then we got, 100 or more people.
Yeah.
But I mean, we've never drawn a crowd. I think St. Albans was one of them.
Yes.
For a regular project, but the only time we ever pulled a crowd over 20 people was the cell tower.
Yeah.
Which again, we're saying anyway, but in front of us. So I'd say that, we may have to use it if we ever had something that drew the public, because we probably couldn't support a really large meeting.
That's the catch.
Other than that.
So maybe on a case by case basis, or
Yeah,
try to
if we have to.
continue what it would be like.
I still don't know how we support the video, would be interesting.
Maybe next. Okay. That's it. So, do we have a motion to adjourn?
I will make a motion to adjourn. Go for it.
Motion to adjourn. Motion to adjourn.
All right, second.
I'll second.
All right, all those in favor? Let's call it. All right.
Adjourning.
Thank you all very much.